Do you like pineapple on pizza? I can take it or leave it. How did you first get started in three cushion? Well, that's a long answer. I was 14. My father took me to a famous room in Oak Park, Michigan called Cue and Cushion. Oh, excuse me, Cushion and Cue in Oak Park, Michigan. And I started playing pool and I didn't know anything about anything. But that particular room had many champions coming over the years to play three cushion billiards. And it was once a year as a US Open always held there. And it was a famous promoter named Ray Abrams. He passed away a few years back. And when I saw these guys at the age of 16, I saw these guys play. I got involved with three cushion billiards because I fell in love with the game. I saw something that was so fascinating, so difficult to try to master or even try to play. And I was a little bit lucky because we had many champions in that room that they played at such a high level that they all wanted to help me because I had such a talent that they thought I can really be a good player if I take it up seriously. So really that's how it started. And yeah, and it's been great ever since. Who's the toughest player you have faced off against? Huh. Over the years. The toughest players years ago, I would have to say Sang Lee. He passed away as well. He was a world champion as well as 12 times national champion. Because in order for anyone to beat him, I have to play so good and hope that he plays so bad and gets all the luck and win. Yeah, he would be one. Today would be Pedro Bueno. He's playing such a high level and he's also 9 times US champion. And the last 10, 15 years, he's been dominating. So yes, he's extremely difficult to play with. But other than that, I've had good share of winning with everybody. Who is your favorite player to watch? In the US, I don't know, I would say me. I don't know how to, because I played with all of them. Pedro is very, Pedro Bueno is very methodical and he's super fantastic player. Yeah, it's nice to watch him, but yeah, different style, you know. But I don't know, there's a lot of good players in this country today, so. I would have to take Pedro as a beautiful to watch because he controls the ball so well and plays at such a high level. What is your most memorable moment in your billiards career? This moment is unforgettable. It's in 2005, my mother passed away and I got married at the same year. And my mother actually gave me a gift to win the national championship in 2006, and I have been second and third for so many years. And she gave me that gift to win it, but the way I won it was very special, you know, with making the best run ever in the US until today. And also the best game of 35 points in 9 innings and won the whole national championship with a very high average. That moment was very special. What is the best piece of advice you have ever received? I have to think about this in terms of the game, obviously. So I would have to say Sang Lee gave me the best advice was you can't play your opponent and you always have to score. If you score, your opponent can't score, he's sitting in a chair. And yes, you can't pay attention how many you're behind and how many you're up front. You have to get to the point you want to get to and do your best. Yeah, that's one of the good advices. And the other advice would have been, people always ask me, how often do you play position? And the answer was, that I was taught was, it's not more like playing position, but try not to be in bad position. And meaning, try to leave the balls away from the gray areas. What kicking system do you rely on the most? Well, I have a few. First, the diamond system is a common system for most billiard players, but we edited the system over the years. Instead of using the 5 for every corner, we use 50 to subtract and add and multiply much easier than using 5 and 3/8 and 2 9s and 1 9 and stuff like that. So yes, and there's other systems that I developed myself over the years. They are very special, yes, and you can see them on our website, threecushionusa.org, and they are very nice to watch, yeah. How do you adjust the plan on different tables? It's all experience, really. Adjusting to different tables is not easy sometimes, because every tournament you play in different tables. So to adjust to the table, you have to have the knowledge, the expertise, the confidence in a stroke, and be able to trust yourself to be able to adjust to the table. And of course, sometimes you have to be a creative in such of weak conditions, you know. So yes, pretty much you have to be knowledgeable and years of playing. Yes, that's how you adjust to the table. And to adjust to the table is not easy, so you have to rely on your stroke and adjust by English or speed or different strokes. You know, it can be, you know, different strokes, yeah. So those are the adjustments. I think experience and playing with so many different tables over the years, I think it makes a big difference. You'll know immediately. What is your favorite place to play? Oh, this is obvious. Del Sol Casino and Resort in Tucson, Arizona, that we've been holding tournaments there over the last 4 years. Best venue that the US ever had in billiards, by far. It's a world championship environment, and with our US players. And our US players never had that privilege to play in such a world-class environment like this. So yes, Del Sol Casino Resort for sure. What is in your cue case? Of course, I always have 2 cues. I always have multiple shafts, sometimes 4, 5, 6. Well, we have the scuffer, we have the rubber grips, extra ones. We have extra gloves. I have extra chalk. And whatever I have, you know, a towel. So yeah, I have all these things in multiples, just in case you run into an accident when you need to have one immediately. What tip diameter do you prefer and why? I play with a 12 millimeter. And over the years, 12 millimeter become the most popular one. You can put a lot more English on a 12 and a smaller diameter than you can do on a 13 and 12 and a half. 12 and a half is also okay, but a little too thick for billiards. But also 12 millimeter is good, but it has to be a little stiffer than a pool taper. So yeah, 12 millimeter would be the one that I would use. Why should players take up 3-cushion? 3 cushions, I've always said, it's the most fascinating game. The game is infinite. It never ends. Even at my level, even at a professional level, you play, and in some tournaments or some matches, you run into positions where you have to think more than once to really make the best of it. And being a creative and be able to trust your stroke, it's big. And Three cushion, I've always been saying this for years. It's the best game secret. And I wish that more of the US players can take up the game, and a lot of the top pool players love the game. It just, there isn't as much exposure in three cushion billiards than it is in pool, obviously. But yeah, three cushion billiards, it's a game to take, yes, for sure. If you had not taken up billiards, what do you think you would be doing now? I've always wanted to be an FBI agent. So I went to school and I never really continued. I was very good in school, but I fell in love with three cushion billiards, and so that didn't happen, you know. But billiards has been good to me, so I'm happy. How do you find the time to run Amazing Billiards, Three Cushion USA, practice, and attend all the events that you do? You know, my wife calls me a workaholic because I don't stop. I have the room. I'm married. I have a house, and I have a beautiful dog named Manny that we have to take care of. He's better than a kid. I practice as much as I can when I'm at the room. But most of my practice is entertaining my customers at the room. If I really want to prepare for an event, I would go early in the morning when no one is there, and I play by myself for about 2 hours or so before someone comes in. Yeah, it's not easy. It's not easy. And now Three Cushion USA is taken up really fantastic, is doing with all the events we're having, and we're the only ones doing anything for three cushion in this country. So yeah, it's a busy lifestyle, but I'm okay. I like it. How do you describe McDermott Cues? McDermott Cues is, they're probably one of the best companies I've ever dealt with. Why? Not because I'm here, not because they're in front of me and asking me these questions, but variety of reasons. The main reason was trust. I trust them. They back up their word. They're professional in business. They come out with a quality cues that, you know, you don't get carom cues now these days for the amount of money that McDermott charges, you know. And the quality of the cue is fantastic. To me, it hits just or better than any other cues in the market today. You know, it's a quality cue. McDermott's been around a long time. The people that are working in McDermott are nice. We establish a very good relationship together, and hopefully we'll last that relationship and make it better. Yeah, I like them. Well, thank you. Good luck in your tournament. And thank you so much for me being here and inviting me here. Thank you, Andrew.